Delve into art, architecture, and design with Srijan Design Academy SDA and thrive in exams, college, and career. Welcome to SDA. Figure-based aptitude. Topic 13. Area of shaded region. Part 03.
Hello everyone. Today we are doing part 3 of area of seeded region. This exercise is useful for CEED and current math examinations, along with many examinations are following this pattern. Part 3 is very important because it is mainly based upon figures and diagrams so that they can check your ability to understand figures very well. This exercise is very logical, so please pay attention. In this case, we have a question with us. We need to find the area of the seeded region. Here, A square, that is area of the entire square, is going to be 10 into 10, that is 100. We need to determine the area of the seeded region. So what do? We draw some lines. If I draw this line, and this line, and this line, and this line, we come to know that this is part A, and this is part A dash. Similarly, this is also part A, and this is part A dash. So we have a filled up region and a blank region. Similarly, we have a part B and B dash, and another part B and another part B dash. So for every shaded region, there is an equal and opposite unshaded region. So therefore, the area of shaded region in this case will be nothing but A square by 2. Therefore, 100 by 2 equals to 50. Let's move to the next question now. Now, this also seems very tricky, but let's understand what is going to happen. So we will draw again some lines to understand this question. Okay, this line seems fair. Now this seems to be the center. So therefore I'll draw an entire line from here to here. Okay, and an entire line. So what we're doing is basically dividing the entire square into 4 equal parts. Okay, now can we identify something? Yes, we can identify something. If this is part A, this is equivalent A dash. If this is part B, this is equivalent B dash. Similarly, if this is again part A, this is equivalent A dash. And if this is part B, this is equivalent B dash. Therefore, shaded area is equals to nothing but A square by 2 and therefore 100 by 2, and that makes it 50. Let's move to another question. What do we have in this case? So first of all, we need to draw something so that we can understand the question very well. Then only we can move ahead. So because now the grid is diagonal, so we'll go something diagonal in this case. Okay, this part seems good. This part also seems good. This seems good. Any other thing? Yeah, this also seems good. Now we can determine if this is part A, this is equivalent A dash. Similarly, if this is part A, this is equivalent A dash. Now for the other part, do we have the same thing or do we have another thing? This is something we need to determine. So we'll draw some other lines also so that it becomes easier for us to understand. So now we got it that this is not made up of 2 parts but 3 equal parts. Okay. So we have another region. This is your B region. This is also your B region, which is equivalent to B dash and B dash here. This is your C region, which is equivalent to C dash here. This is your another C region, which is equivalent to C dash here. So therefore, what is going to happen in this case? Shaded area, which we can also call SA, is equals to A square by 2, and this is going to be 100 by 2, therefore 50. Let's move to another question now. What happens now in this case? We already know this figure somewhat. Okay, how do we know this figure? From the first question. But let's understand this thing again. So I'll divide it into 1/4 and then I'll do 4 equal parts. Can we identify something? This is similar to what we have done earlier. Okay, if I clearly mark out, this is A, this is also A. Similarly, this is A dash, this is A dash. Okay, this is B, and similarly this is B dash, and that is B dash. So this is definitely half of it. If we go to all the parts, if I analyze this part, this is also half. If I analyze this part, this is also half, and this part is also half. So therefore the entire area, okay, is going to be the half. But if I just consider one part of it, so if I consider this 5 and this is also 5, okay, so therefore in this case A square becomes 25 and therefore shaded area SA becomes 25 by 2. But how many such parts are there? There are 4 parts. So we will do 4 times of 25 by 2, and that is going to be nothing but 50. Okay. So in such questions also, the grid is just repeating multiple times. Therefore, we are getting complication. Let's move to another question. Now we have this thing. By now you have understood that the area is going to be 50. You can check it out by yourself. Here we have got the last question of the day. Let's identify what is going to happen in this case. And I have kept this question for a specific reason. So I'll draw this line here and I'll draw this line here. Now so far it seems all right. So I'll draw one line here and I'll draw another line here. Okay. So basically I've taken one part of it. Now what is the problem here? In this case, we are getting C and C, that is empty. Other things are quite clear. If this is region A, this is A dash. If this is region B, this is B dash. Okay. So because C and C are the empty regions. So if I take this and this, so this is your 5, this is also your 5. So the total area of this small square, A square, equals to 25. 2 regions out of it is empty. So what is happening in this case? C equals to C is equals to A plus B is equals to A dash plus B dash. Correct? So what happens now? That means we have 4 equal parts. How many parts are shaded? Only A plus B part is shaded. So shaded area is equals to 1 by 4 of A square. Okay, this is what we have determined. So therefore SA, that is your shaded area, is going to be 25 by 4. Clear? But when we talk about total shaded area, that is going to be 4 times of 25 by 4. Why? Because there are 4 such parts. One part, second part, third part, and the fourth part. So therefore total area is going to be 25. So in some cases, you will be given all the portions. In some cases, you may not be given all the portions. So on the basis of that, you need to understand the symmetry in the figures. You need to create some lines which are invisible, and that's how you will be able to find out the answer in these questions. These questions are purely diagrammatic and include very little calculation. Therefore, these are the questions that you can easily solve in any of the examinations. We'll come up with area of seated region part 4, where I will be solving such complicated questions which came in the earlier examinations. Thank you.
To buy our detailed study material online, WhatsApp us on 70420646648 or ping us on Instagram. For more questions, drop a comment on our video. Subscribe us to Thrive in Exams, College, and Career.